The greatest hits of all time. During my lunch break. Yeah!
It's Out to Lunch. Brought to you by Roosters and Roosters 2. Minnesota 97.5. It's time for Monday Movie Trivia with your chance to win a Rooster certificate.
All right, here's how it works. I'm going to play you a clip from a movie. You just identify the movie. And if you're the right numbered caller, you will win a Rooster certificate. So here we go. Listen carefully.
A census taker once tried to test me. I ate his liver with some fava beans and a nice Chianti.
Oh boy, there's a good one for the lunch hour. All right, give me a call. Be caller number 5 with the correct answer at 507-281-9750. What movie was that from? If you get it right, I'll give you a Rooster certificate from Minnesota 97.5.
Special people change. How many lives are living strange? Where were you while we were getting high? Slowly walking down the hall, faster than the sky. Someday you will find me caught beneath the landslide in a champagne supernova, a champagne supernova in the sky. Of the dawn and ask her why. Dream a dream, she never dies. Wipe that tear away now from your eye. Slowly walking down the hall, faster than a carnival. Where were you while we were getting high? Someday you will find me caught beneath the landslide.
Minnesota 97.5. It's time for Monday Movie Trivia with your chance to win a Rooster certificate.
All right, let's play that movie clip one more time. Here we go.
A census taker once tried to test me. I ate his liver with some fava beans and a nice Chianti.
Hi, Minnesota 97.5. Who's this?
Trevor.
All right, Trevor, you heard that movie clip. What movie is it from?
A penguin.
Nope, it's not Penguin. Good try, though. Hi, Minnesota 97.5. Who's this?
This is Keith.
All right, Keith, you heard that movie clip. What movie is it from?
Silence of the Lambs.
That's it, Silence of the Lambs. Hey, we got a Rooster certificate for you, speaking of appetizing. Thanks for playing along today on Monday Movie Trivia on Minnesota 97.5.
When it's a big deal, like a big game or a big test, you lock in. And this is a really big deal. Get Mediacom fiber-powered 1 gig internet for $50 a month for 3 full years. Lock in speed, lock in price, lock in gig from Mediacom for just $50 a month for 3 years. Call 844-4FASTER today. Offer available to new customers only. Taxes and one-time installation and activation fees apply.
Trust the Root Pros, everyone knows. Call Hein, black trucks, silver on the sign. Get the job done right with Hein. Most roofs done in 1 day. Hein offers the best warranty. No job too big, no job too small. Our online reviews say it all. H-E-Y-N, give us a call. Trust the Root Pros, everyone knows. Call Hein.
I live in Pine Island, and I sell real estate. Hi, I'm Barry with Barry James Realty, and my job is to make sure you have fun and enjoy the buying and selling process. From one corner of the state to the other, I not only work for you, I work with you, whether this is your first house, your vacation home, or investment property. I don't have a team, and that's by design. I want to talk to you, not have you get the "he will call you back" every time you call. My wife tells me that I answer the phone too much. She's right, but it's just in my nature to help. Barry James Realty. Quality, not quantity.
Firefighters see things, they experience things that people in the general public may not. There's a lot of stress there.
That was one of the big things. It's like, well, I know I need help, but how do I even get there?
That's one of the big benefits of Minfire. It just creates a culture where it's okay to not be okay, and it allows us to intervene before the problems get too big.
If you're an active Minnesota firefighter in need of help, Minfire and the Hometown Heroes Assistance Program are here for you. Learn more about these confidential, no-cost physical and mental health resources at minfirehealth.org.
My people, yes, so Life Gate Services of Minnesota Department of Revenue don't show face again. Oh, we are here to remind you that say make all of una file your taxes before April 15, 2026. No delay, no waste time. Oh, Life Gate Services they here to tell una all the tax credits where una fit collect this year if una qualify. We go connect una with volunteer income tax assistant writer, so una go file your tax completely free. Life Gate Services they touch life and restore hope. For more to reach, check revenue.state.mn.us and livegateservices.org.
Minnesota 97. She's making no plans.
97.5.
Greatest hits of all time. During my lunch break. Yeah.
It's Out to Lunch. Brought to you by Roosters and Roosters 2.
Minnesota 97.5. Out to Lunch with Roosters and Billy Joel, You're Only Human. Hey, let's talk about non-humans for a second. Owning a pet is getting seriously expensive. A new study just came out that says, on average, we spend about $4,272 a year for one pet. Stretch that over a typical 12-year lifespan, and you're looking at more than $50,000 for a dog or a cat. and that's before anything goes wrong. Now, it doesn't help that vet costs have jumped about 43% in the past 5 years. Things have gotten so bad, 37% of pet owners are in debt because of their animals. Study also says it's hitting Gen Z the hardest. 46% of them are considering a petless lifestyle. So, yeah, we kind of went through some stuff with one of our two Chihuahuas this past fall. It was kind of cut and dry there for a while. We weren't sure if she was going to make it, but after a few surgeries and quite a bit of money, she came through on the other side. She's doing great. So it was all worth it in the end. All right, more music coming up. Minnesota 97.5.
Roosters serves made-to-order breakfast every day and the best roasted chicken in Rochester. But that's just the beginning. They're famous for their giant pretzel, and now shrimp lovers have even more to enjoy with new shrimp tacos, a bold shrimp po' boy, and the irresistible bacon shrimp wrap. Craving something different? Try their new barbecue pulled pork or Philly steak pizza. From classics to fresh favorites, Roosters is simply awesome. Meet friends, play pool or darts, and enjoy some of Rochester's best food at 2 convenient locations. Hoyer Construction for your home reno. Well, if you always order in because your kitchen is a sin, call Hoyer Construction. And if you no longer bathe because your bathroom ain't your fave, call Hoyer Construction. If you need an addition, we can make it our mission. Call Hoyer Construction. We can go full throttle on your home remodel. Call Hoyer Construction.
Make your next meal Quick Trip's No Ordinary Chicken. Right now, get a crispy chicken sandwich, regular or pepper jack, for just $3.99. Feeding the crew? Grab an 8-piece bone-in fried chicken for only $9.99. And don't forget to dip it in Quick Trip's No Ordinary Chicken sauce. Short on time? Order ahead with the Quick Rewards app and make it fast. Stop in today for your No Ordinary Chicken. Crunch outside, tender inside. Only at Quick Trip.
It's Chris Lindahl, and here's what Nanette told us after saying yes to a guaranteed cash offer on her house and getting her big red check.
They were definitely there for me, fast to respond. It was reassuring to know that Chris is a local guy. The closing was very easy. The cash was deposited into the account that afternoon. They just make it very easy. They really have their systems down.
Get your guaranteed cash offer and your big red check today at chrislindahl.com.
You'll buy a house today.
Consider this. You will never hear anyone say,
"Oh, I just love your new gutters."
But the humble rain gutter is your first line of defense between your home and thousands upon thousands of dollars worth of water damage. Your rain gutters help prevent water from peeling your paint, seeping into your cellar, and making mold multiply. And now, after a brutal winter, you must ask yourself a question. Are my gutters up to the job? If your gutters took a beating this winter, Allcraft Exteriors can help. Our seamless gutters are 100% aluminum, offered in residential and commercial grades. Feature hidden fasteners and come with a choice of colors. Now, for a limited time, get 10% off all gutter installations when you book before May 31st. And, of course, they're installed by the best crews in the business. Spring is coming fast. Don't let your house get caught in the rain. Call Allcraft Exteriors. AllcraftExteriors.com.
We're built on trust. We're built on trust.
Yeah, the weather is brought to us by Allcraft Exteriors. It's going to be partly cloudy with showers and thunderstorms developing later on this afternoon. 75 for a high. Rain and storms likely tonight, most of it taking place before midnight. In fact, we could see some severe weather tonight. Large hail, damaging winds, heavy rain are all possibilities. Low tonight, 56. Tomorrow's going to start out with patchy fog in the morning. Otherwise, partly cloudy, just a slight chance of showers in the afternoon. We'll stay in the 70s tomorrow. Currently, we do have cloudy skies. It is 68 degrees.
One day, the next day gone. Sometimes you bend, sometimes you stay, sometimes you turn your back to win. This world outside the dark and door, where blues won't haunt you anymore. With a Take our free love store, ride with me to the distant shore. We won't hesitate, break down the garden gate. There's not much time to do today. Life is a highway, I wanna ride it all night long. Get out of my way, I wanna drive it all night long. Through all these cities and all these towns, it's in my blood and it's all around. I love you now like I loved you then. This is the road and these are the hills. From Mozambique to those Memphis nights, the Canberra back to Vancouver's lights. Knock me down, back up again. You're in my blood, I'm not a lonely man. You don't know what I get home. Rules are wrong, this I know. I'll be there when the light comes in. Just tell the world to survive. Life is a highway, I wanna ride it all night long. When you're going my way, I wanna drive it all night long. Life is a highway, I wanna ride it all night long. You're going my way, I wanna drive it all night long. There was a distance between you and I, a misunderstanding won't slow down. We were in the eye. I can't hold on so long. This I know. I'll be there when the light comes in. Just tell them when it's about. Life is a highway, I wanna ride it all night long. You're going my way, I wanna drive it all night long. Give me, yeah. Life is a highway, I wanna ride it all night long. You're going my way, I wanna drive it all night long.
Minnesota 97.5, Rochester's greatest hits.
We're no strangers to love. You know the rules, and so do I. No commitment's what I'm thinking of.
Rochester's greatest hits.
So what more do you need?
Minnesota 97.5.
The best kind of earworm.
KNXR Rochester, Minnesota 97.5.
Your faces got it so good. And there's a woman in the kitchen cleaning up the evening slop. And he looks at her and says, hey darling, I can remember when you could stop a plow. Oh, but ain't that America? For you and me, ain't that America? Something to see, baby. Ain't that America? Home on the free, yeah. Little freak out houses for you and me. Oh yeah, you and me. Well, there's a young man in a t-shirt, list to rock and roll station. He's got greasy hair, greasy smile. It says, oh, this must be my destination. Mother told me when I was younger, say, boy, you're gonna be president. But just like everything else, those old days and dreams kinda came way down. Oh, ain't that America? You and me. Ain't that America? Something to see, baby. Ain't that America? Home of the free, yeah. Little big houses for you. Oh, good baby, for you and me. Well, there's people and more people. What do they know? No. Go to work in some high rise and vacation down at Gulf of Mexico. Oh yeah. And there's winners and there's losers, but that ain't no big deal. 'Cause the simple man, baby, pays the bills that kill. Oh, ain't that America? You and me. Ain't that America? Something to see, baby. Ain't that America? Home of the free, yeah. Little big houses for you. Ooh. You and me. Ain't that America? There's something to see, baby. Ain't that America? Home of the free. Yeah. Little big house, yeah. You and me.
Minnesota 97.5. We are live and local. I'm Brent Ackerman. Well, we know last Thursday we had a winner with a high-low jackpot. Doris Steenison of Rochester won $456. So we started a brand new one this morning. And your next chance to guess is coming up at the 4 o'clock hour.
So hard to bear, sing a song, it'll make
He's the best.
I love listening at work.
I love it.
On Minnesota 97.5.
Yeah, Spider-Man is freezing for a fact. Ready, Ron? I'm ready. You want it? I'm ready, sir. Are you? Oh, yeah. Girl, I must warn you. I sense something strange in my mind. Yo, situation moves. Let's get it, cause we're running out of time. It's all so beautiful. Relationships they seem from the start. It's all so the others not taking it from the heart. Check it out. It's driving me out of my mind. That's why it's hard for me to find. Can't get it out of my head. This her lover. That girl is if I were you, I'd take precaution before I said to me, bye, girl. You know, cause in some motion, she's the best thing in the world. She's so nice, she'll drive you right out of your mind, steal your heart, bring your mind.
house money in the motion. The little throw hole should be cut like an afro. So what you saying, huh? She's winning you, but I know she's losing. How did you know me and the crew used to do her? Poison has to be high power, yeah. Michael Business, and I'm running the show. Down, the now you know. Yo, split, blow.
It's driving me out of my mind. That's why it's hard for me to find. Can't get it out of my head. Miss her, kiss her, love her. That girl is she's dangerous.
Bill Biv DeVoe with Poison on Minnesota 97.5. Well, people are always arguing about whether America is the number one place in the world when it comes to healthcare, education, affordability. But here are some things that we do excel in. BuzzFeed put together a list that the U.S. does better than other countries. Here's some of the best ones here. The U.S. known for their amazing national parks, state parks, and local parks. How about soul music, rhythm and blues music, funk and gospel? Yeah, that's kind of all American there. The public library system, we have one of the best ones in the world. Theme parks, charity. Americans as a whole donate more to charities than any other nation. Agriculture, the U.S. is a behemoth when it comes to agriculture. Then, of course, there's entertainment, concerts, movie theaters, bars, nightclubs, bowling alleys, laser tag, all that stuff. And finally, somebody said, landing people on the moon. The USA has landed 12 people on the moon. The rest of the world, 0. At least for now. Anyway, more music coming up. Keep it right here. Minnesota 97.5.
We're giving away hundreds and thousands of dollars with a Minnesota 97.5 high-low jackpot. Powered by Carpet One. Guess how much money is in the jackpot? We'll let you know if your guess is too high or too low. Hear enough guesses to narrow it down. Get it right, and the money is yours. We'll play 3 times each weekday in the 7 a.m., 11 a.m., and 4 p.m. hours. The high-low jackpot with Carpet One, only on Minnesota 97.5.
Life often brings you unexpected twists and turns. Hi, Alicia Zabel here with North Risk Partners in Rochester, Minnesota. After 5 years in the insurance industry, I know how unpredictable life can be. North Risk Partners works with top insurance companies like auto owners to provide you with custom, strategic insurance solutions to help you through whatever comes your way. To learn more about how we can prepare you for the unexpected, go to northriskpartners.com.
Transform your outdoor space with ProCut's new Amish handcrafted poly furniture. At ProCut Firewood, they're proud to offer eco-friendly, high-quality outdoor furniture that's built to last. Crafted with 100% recycled plastic, their furniture saves over 115 million plastic bottles from landfills every year. It's UV protected, fade resistant, and designed to handle the harshest weather. No cracking or warping. Best of all, there's zero maintenance, no staining and sealing, just soap and water to keep it yet looking new. With over 16 vibrant colors, including two-tone combinations, you can customize your perfect outdoor set. From ergonomic swivel gliders to Adirondack chairs to fire pit tables, dining sets, and even swings. There's something for every style. Built for comfort and durability, their furniture resists mildew, insects, and extreme weather. Plus, it has a 20-year residential warranty. Visit ProCut Firewood today and make your outdoor dreams come true with Amish handcrafted poly furniture. ProCutFirewood.com.
I live in Pine Island and I sell real estate. Hi, I'm Barry with Barry James Realty, and my job is to make sure you have fun and enjoy the buying and selling process. From one corner of the state to the other, I not only work for you, I work with you. Whether this is your first house, your vacation home, or investment property. I don't have a team, and that's by design. I want to talk to you, not have you get the "he will call you back" every time you call. My wife tells me that I answer the phone too much. She's right, but it's just in my nature to help. Barry James Realty. Quality, not quantity.
Hi, this is Danny with Cat's Kitchen and Bath. Over time, we tend to accumulate more items in the kitchen, things we may end up not having room for. So we try to make room, but
Oops.
it's not always the best long-term solution.
There's gotta be a better way.
There sure is, Todd.
My name's not Todd.
Cat's Kitchen and Bath is here to help. If you need better storage solutions, want to update your cabinets, or expand your existing layout, we've got you covered. Let's talk.
And the weather is brought to us by Cat's Kitchen and Bath. Going to be partly cloudy today with showers and thunderstorms later this afternoon into the evening hours. 75 for a high. Now, these storms likely tonight before midnight and could produce some severe weather. Large hail, damaging winds, and heavy rain are the main threats that we need to watch out for. Low tonight at 56. Tomorrow's going to start off foggy, then partly cloudy, slight chance of rain, and a high tomorrow of 72. If you'd like to check out the extended forecast, just click on the ABC6 weather link at mn975.com. Currently, it's cloudy and 67.
That's
I love it.
24 hours a day.
Oh, you're talking about
Rochester's greatest hits. Minnesota 97.5.
That's what he goes there for, is to unlock the door for those around them creating stars and sleep. Through a fractal on that breaking wall, I see you, my friend, and touch your face again. Miracles will happen as we dream. We get a little crazy. No, we're never gonna survive. Oh, yes. We are a little crazy. People walking through my head. One of them's got a gun. Shoot the other one. And yet together they were friends too. When we first took the bill, big bang, miracles will happen as we speak. But we never gonna survive. Oh yes, we get a little crazy. But we're never gonna survive. We all little they'll survive unless we get a little bit.
It's an app that takes you back in time. Hey, Scott!
Download our free app today and take us wherever you go. Minnesota 97.5.
Rise up, baby, but your hair is long and brown.
I'm on top again, baby. That's got everything to do with you. I'm alive. I'm so alive. I'm alive. I'm so
It's Love and Rockets with So Alive on Minnesota 97.5. Well, it's always frustrating when your sandwich order isn't made how you expect, but it's probably a good idea not to get so upset about it that you end up in jail, right? A 33-year-old Florida woman ordered a Subway restaurant online, ordered a sandwich from there a few weeks ago. When she picked it up, she noticed that her sandwich had peppers on it, which she did not appreciate. She went back inside to complain and asked for another sandwich. And they said, well, that is how you ordered it. Well, then she freaked out, shoved the cash register, printer off the counter, and then reached into the cookie display, removed a whole bunch of trays of cookies, and threw them onto the floor, ruining 37 cookies. Police had to be called. The woman didn't really have much of a case because she used her full name on the order, and her tirade was caught on the security camera inside the store. She was charged with criminal mischief. I get that they maybe didn't get your order right, or maybe they did, and you got it wrong, whatever. Man, chill. Just chill. It's not worth causing a scene and ending up in jail and having it on your permanent record, right? It's just a sandwich.
Celebrate RPU's 24th Annual Arbor Day Celebration, Friday, April 24th from 11 until 1 at McQuillan Park with free admission. Enjoy complimentary hot dogs, chips, cookies, and sodas while taking in live music from Push and Turn, exploring vendor booths, and get a free tree. Families can join in on the fun with the apple toss, the beanbag toss, and also tree medallion necklaces and more. Bad weather will move this event indoors to the RCTC Fieldhouse. Check RPU Facebook for updates.
Eyes on your phone, eyes on your cheeseburger, eyes on the radio dial, eyes on the scenery, eyes on that cool car, eyes on the kid, eyes on your drink, eyes on the video player, eyes on your watch, eyes on the guy passing you. How about eyes on the road? Distracted driving can be deadly. Drive smart.
Extra enforcement now on Minnesota roads. A message from the Minnesota Department of Public Safety.
Good afternoon. It's time for the Ag Update on Minnesota 97.5 and the Linder Farm Network. I'm Linda Brecky. Corn futures were supported earlier in the day by wheat, but did finish near unchanged to lower, and soybean futures were lower. Steve Witt, Van Auden Company, Alexandria comment.
Not a lot to lead the beans out of here. The export inspections or the inspections for the week were a little disappointing, so I think beans just under a little pressure here. Just struggling to get any momentum here today, and I think you're seeing the volatility in the outside markets. What's crude going to do long term? Is the ceasefire going to stick around?
Cash cheese barrels no change, and blocks up 0.5 cent. May Class 3 milk down 1. May corn closed down 0.75 cent. December down 1 1/4. May beans down 13.5. November down 8. June log cattle down 67. May feeder cattle up 47. June lean hogs down 60. And that's our Ag Update.
Sometimes I never wanna see you again.
with Brent Ackerman.
How to survive
The 9 to 5. Do it.
Minnesota 97.5.
She
Guns N' Roses, Sweet Child of Mine, Minnesota 97.5, Rochester's greatest hits. I'm Brent Ackerman. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Zach Case coming in next. He'll give you a chance to win free money with a high-low jackpot powered by Carpet One. He'll do that in the 4 o'clock hour today as we started a brand new high-low jackpot today. So you'll be the third guest of that coming up in the 4 o'clock hour today. Hey, before I leave, some good news for you. Jonathan the Giant Tortoise, still alive. There have been some viral rumors going around claiming otherwise, but they're false. He holds the record for being the oldest living land animal. They think he was born around 1832. Yeah, that would make him pretty old. Jonathan lives at the governor's residence on St. Helena, which is a British territory in the South Atlantic Ocean. But fear not, Jonathan the Giant Tortoise, still alive. And also this story, a Chick-fil-A employee in North Carolina being praised after finding nearly $10,000 left behind in a restaurant bathroom and made sure it was returned to the owner. The employee's name is Jaden. He immediately turned the cash over to management. Jaden even tried to refuse a reward when the customer who lost the money offered one. But he eventually did accept a $500 reward. Boy, that's the least he could do, I would think. You know, that's got to be tempting for a young person to find that much cash. It'd be very easy to walk away, but he did the right thing, so good for Jaden. All right, more coming up, Minnesota 97.5.
Hoyer Construction for your home reno. Well, if you always order in because your kitchen is a sin, call Hoyer Construction. And if you no longer bathe because your bathroom ain't your fave, call Hoyer Construction. If you need an addition, we can make it our mission, call Hoyer Construction. We can go full throttle on your home remodel, call Hoyer Construction.
Are you tired of the same old run-of-the-mill office machines that slow you down? Well, here's the solution. Tri-State Business Machines, your go-to destination for cutting-edge color copiers and printers networked to supercharge your office productivity. Imagine a world where your office equipment works flawlessly. Every printout is vibrant, and every copy is crisp. That's the Tri-State Business Machines guarantee. Family-owned for over 60 years, delivering quality, trust, and the service you can count on. Call today, 800-544-COPY. That's 800-544-COPY.
Firefighters see things, they experience things that people in the general public may not. There's a lot of stress there.
That was one of the big things. It's like, well, I know I need help, but how do I even get there?
That's one of the big benefits of Minfire. It just creates a culture where it's okay to not be okay, and it allows us to intervene before the problems get too big.
If you're an active Minnesota firefighter in need of help, Minfire and the Hometown Heroes Assistance Program are here for you. Learn more about these confidential, no-cost physical and mental health resources at mnfirehealth.org.
Adventures invites you to use your tax refund to experience a life-changing journey. We specialize in fully escorted group travel that connects you to the world through fellowship and shared discovery. Join us on our Highlights of Ireland tour featuring Dublin, Kilkenny, the Ring of Kerry, and the Cliffs of Moher. Or lift the glass at Oktoberfest in Germany. Walk the footsteps of Jesus in the Holy Land, or another upcoming adventure. Use your refund to plan the trip you've been waiting for. Adventures, life-changing travel experiences.
Yeah, the weather is brought to us by Adventures. We have partly cloudy conditions throughout the day. Showers, thunderstorms likely to develop after about 4 or 5 this afternoon. Look for a high of 75. Rain and storms likely tonight before maybe 11 o'clock. And at times, could see some severe weather. Large hail, damaging winds, and heavy rain are the biggest threats with the forecast. Low tonight down to 56. Tomorrow's going to be partly cloudy, slight chance of afternoon showers, and high tomorrow of 72. Currently, we have fair skies. It is 66 degrees.
Minnesota 97.5.
Another night, another dream, but always it's like a vision of the
Minnesota 97.5.
This is good. This is like really good.
KNXR Rochester, Minnesota 97.5.
Rochester's greatest hits. Minnesota 97.5.
Minnesota 97.5, Rochester's greatest hits. Good afternoon and happy Monday to you. I'm Zach Case with John Pards. St. Elmo's Fire on Minnesota 97.5.
Everything is changed.
Rochester's greatest hits. Minnesota 97.5.
And close the curtains, 'cause all we need is candlelight, you and me, and a bottle of wine to hold you tonight. Well, we know I'm going away, and how I wish it were so. So take this wine and drink with me. Let's delay our misery. Say tonight, fight the break of dawn, come tomorrow. Tomorrow I'll be gone. Say tonight, fight the break of dawn, come tomorrow. Tomorrow I'll be gone. There's a log on the fire, and it burns like me for you. Tomorrow comes with one desire, to take me away. It's true, it ain't easy to say goodbye. Darling, please don't stop to cry. It's good to know I got to go. Oh, Lord, I wish it wasn't so. Say tonight, and fight the break of dawn, come tomorrow. Tomorrow I'll be gone. Say tonight, and fight the break of dawn, come tomorrow. Tomorrow I'll be gone. That I could say, girl, you know I got to go. Oh, Lord, I wish it wasn't so. Say tonight, if I can break out of dawn, come tomorrow. Tomorrow I'll be gone. Say tonight, if I can break out of dawn, come tomorrow. Tomorrow I'll be gone. Say tonight, if I can break out of dawn, come tomorrow. Tomorrow I'll be gone. Say tonight, if I can break out of dawn, come tomorrow. Tomorrow I'll be gone. Tomorrow I'll be gone. Tomorrow I'll be gone. Tomorrow I'll be gone. Tomorrow I'll be gone.
Minnesota 97.5, Rochester's greatest hits. I'm Zach Case. Hope you're having a great Monday afternoon to start your week, and hopefully you have a nice weekend, too. A little time to rest up and relax for the big week. We're going to have some fun this afternoon. Got a brand new Minnesota 97.5 High-Low Jackpot powered by Carpet One to do in your 4 p.m. hour today. Brand new as of today. We already got 2 guesses on it, but still have not done it with you yet in the afternoon. So we'll do that in the 4 p.m. hour today. We've got some warmer weather out, although we do have that chance of some severe weather. We're going to talk about that in your forecast up next on Minnesota 97.5.
For good days, for bad days, for stressful days, moving out, for lazy days, for working days, even nights. When I wake up,
At work every day.
on the way home,
It's my number one button.
find it all right here. Rochester's greatest hits, Minnesota 97.5.
Celebrate RPU's 24th Annual Arbor Day celebration, Friday, April 24th from 11 until 1 at McQuillan Park with free admission. Enjoy complimentary hot dogs, chips, cookies, and sodas while taking in live music from Push and Turn, exploring vendor booths, and get a free tree. Families can join in on the fun with the apple toss, the beanbag toss, and also tree medallion necklaces and more. Bad weather will move this event indoors to the RCTC Fieldhouse. Check RPU Facebook for updates.
Saving money on all of your outdoor projects at Menards. Create stunning patios and walkways with our huge in-stock selection of durable concrete blocks. Ready to take home today. Plus, get free estimates fast with our easy-to-use design program in-store or on Menards.com. Save big money on our 16-inch brick face, cobblestone or lakestone patio blocks on sale now. Plus, check out our flyer on Menards.com for more great deals happening this week.
Save big money at Menards.
Make your grad party the easiest and tastiest celebration of the year with catering from Victoria's or Sorelina's. Skip the stress and treat your guests to a spread packed with flavor, from comforting Italian classics to fresh, crowd-pleasing favorites everyone will be excited about. With flexible packages, tons of options, and food that disappears fast, they'll help you pull off a celebration your guests will rave about long after the tassel turns. Reserve your grad party date today and let the celebrating begin.
I live in Pine Island, and I sell real estate. Hi, I'm Barry with Barry James Realty, and my job is to make sure you have fun and enjoy the buying and selling process. From one corner of the state to the other, I not only work for you, I work with you, whether this is your first house, your vacation home, or investment property. I don't have a team, and that's by design. I want to talk to you, not have you get the "he will call you back" every time you call. My wife tells me that I answer the phone too much. She's right, but it's just in my nature to help. Barry James Realty. Quality, not quantity.
It's time to start thinking about summer, especially if you use a truck for work, play, or both. Hi, Chris from Trucking America. Wet stuff in the back of your truck is a headache, no matter what you're using it for, and we can help. Toppers, lids, roll-up covers, and commercial toppers made to your exact specifications, designed to keep cargo safe, dry, and out of the hands of thieves. Protecting tools and equipment is always in season. Looking for efficiency? We carry ladder racks, Tommy gates, weather guard toolboxes, and van racking. Having the right equipment is something you'll never regret. Pulling a camper, boat, or trailer? We install all types of hitches for cars, SUVs, and trucks, including fifth wheels, goosenecks, and wiring and brake control systems. Start thinking about it. Summer will be here before you know it. Trucking America in Rochester and truckingamerica.com. We are the automotive aftermarket experts.
Trucking America, Trucking America. Top-notch quality, looking great. Rochester weather.
Brought to you by Trucking America tonight. Yeah, showers and storms likely. That's mainly before 11, and otherwise going to be mostly cloudy, low down to about 55. We do have a chance of some severe weather tonight as well. It's going to start maybe this afternoon even. Where it lands, where it hits us is going to be the problem, though. So it might not get a whole bunch tonight. We'll see. Tomorrow, we do have a smaller chance of some showers in the afternoon, otherwise mostly cloudy, high in the low 70s. Wednesday, again, a little chance of showers in the afternoon, maybe. Partly sunny, high close to 70. Check out the extended forecast by clicking on the ABC6 weather link at mn975.com. Right now in Rochester, at about 69 degrees, does look a bit gloomy out there.
Minnesota 97.5.
I love it in your room, now you're the only one who gets through to me.
Rochester's greatest hits.
The songs I grew up on.
The songs my kids are growing up on. Minnesota 97.5.
So lately, been wondering who will be there to take my place when I'm gone. You'll need love to light the shadows on your face. If a great wave shall fall and fall upon us all, then between sand and stone, could you make it on your own? If I could, then I would. I'll go wherever you will go. Way up high or down low. I'll go wherever you will go. And maybe I'll find out a way to make it back someday. To want you, to guide you through the darkest of your days. If a great wave shall fall and fall upon the storm, well, I hope there's someone out there who can bring me back to you. If I could, then I would. I'll go wherever you will go. Way up high or down low. I'll go wherever you will go. Run away with my heart. Run away with my love. Run away with my love. I know now just quite how my life and love might still go on. In your heart, in your mind, I'll stay with you for all time. If I could, then I would. I'll go wherever you will go. Way up high or down low. I'll go wherever you will go. If I could turn back time, I'll go wherever you will go. If I could make you mine, I'll go wherever you will go.
There's not any man like it. That case anywhere in the world. Minnesota 97.5.
Sometimes I feel I've got to run away. I've got to get away from the pain you drive into the heart of me. The love we share seems to go nowhere, and I've lost my light, for I toss and turn, I can't sleep at night. Once I ran to you, now I run from you. This tainted love you've given, I give you all a boy could give you. Take my tears and that's not nearly all. Tainted love, tainted love. Now I know I've got to run away. I've got to get away. You don't really want any more from me to make things right. You need someone to hold you tight, and you think love is to pray, but I'm sorry I don't pray that way. So now I'm gonna pack my things and go. Tainted love, tainted love, tainted love, tainted love. Touch me, baby, tainted love. Touch me, baby, tainted love. Where did love go? Oh, don't you leave me. Don't you leave me no more. I've got this burning, yearning feeling inside me. Ooh, deep inside me. And it hurts so bad. We came to life. So don't leave with the burning love that stings like a bee. And now I'm surrounded so helplessly. You know I believe you wanna leave me. Oh, baby, baby, where did love go? Oh, don't you leave me. Don't you leave me no more. Oh, baby, baby, where did love go? Oh, don't you leave me.
Minnesota 97.5, Rochester's greatest hits. I'm Zach Case with a quick sports update brought to you by Family Fun Center. Let's see here, Minnesota Wild getting ready to play their second to last game of the official season tonight, taking on the St. Louis Blues at 7 p.m. Now, they did lose Saturday to the Nashville Predators 2-1. Not a huge worry. They already have their playoff spot locked in, and tomorrow night they'll play another game against the Ducks, and then their season is over, and they will still be, it looks like, playing the Dallas Stars in the playoffs. So just a couple more games. Root them on. They've had a great season. Hopefully can finish it off with a couple wins on the year. Minnesota Timberwolves, yeah, they played yesterday. Final game of their season, and they did get the win, 132-126 over the Pelicans. So T-Wolves finished with a 49-33 record on the year, and they will face the Denver Nuggets in the NBA playoffs first round. Game one set for Saturday, this upcoming Saturday, 2:30. So we're already in postseason basketball, and this is going to be fun. So excited for the T-Wolves and Wild to get into the playoffs. And Minnesota Twins, wow, believe it or not, really, believe it or not, they are tied for the best record in the American League at this point. They are 9-7 on the year. Another great weekend for the Twins with some wins over the Blue Jays. Didn't get the sweep on them, but got 2 out of 3, which is quite good. So way to go. Twins will play the Red Sox tonight, 6:40. And yeah, I don't want to jinx it or anything, but looking somewhat good as of late. Is a big surprise, I know. And also worth noting, Rory McIlroy winning another Masters title at the Augusta National. That's back-to-back Masters for Mr. McIlroy, so good job there. That's what I got for you today. Quick sports update all brought to you by Family Fun Center on Minnesota 97.5.
At Family Fun Center, it's game on with billiards that roll smooth and bar stools built for settling in. Comfort and fun all in one.
Winner breaks next game?
You are on.
Hear that? That's the sound of bragging rights. Whether you're lining up for the perfect shot or claiming your favorite bar stool in the basement, Family Fun Center is where fun meets friendly competition. Billiards and more with bar stools galore.
Fun!
Located on 7th Street, Northwest in Rochester, or online at FamilyFunCenter.com. Family Fun Center. Bring fun home.
When your brakes start talking, it's time to listen. And Patriot Auto Care and Tire Pros is here to make sure you stop safely. Our brakes service special includes a thorough inspection, dependable repairs, and pricing that keeps safety affordable. Right now, receive $50 off your complete brake service per axle. We focus on brake craftsmanship you can trust because your family safety matters on every drive. Visit us today and see how we're building lasting relationships, not just one visit. Your confidence on the road matters.
Trust the root pros, everyone knows.
Call the men of steel today at Hine Brothers. This is Aaron Hine letting you know that we do all forms of steel roofing. Whether it's big or small, we do it all. From rip steel to standing seam or stone-coated steel shingles that look great on homes, we are your local steel roofing professional. Get a lifetime roof today by calling Hine.
Trust the roof pros, everyone knows. Call Hine.
Transform your outdoor space with ProCut's new Amish handcrafted poly furniture. At ProCut Firewood, they're proud to offer eco-friendly, high-quality outdoor furniture that's built to last. Crafted with 100% recycled plastic, their furniture saves over 115 million plastic bottles from landfills every year. It's UV protected, fade resistant, and designed to handle the harshest weather. No cracking or warping. Best of all, there's zero maintenance, no staining and sealing, just soap and water to keep it looking new. With over 16 vibrant colors, including two-tone combinations, you can customize your perfect outdoor set. From ergonomic swivel gliders to Adirondack chairs to fire pit tables, dining sets, and even swings. There's something for every style. Built for comfort and durability, their furniture resists mildew, insects, and extreme weather. Plus, it has a 20-year residential warranty. Visit ProCut Firewood today and make your outdoor dreams come true with Amish handcrafted poly furniture. ProCutFirewood.com.
Yeah.
Minnesota 97.5.
Sunshine Band, that's the way I like it on Minnesota 97.5, Rochester's greatest hits. I'm Zach Case on your Monday afternoon. Hope it's going very well for you. Sometimes it's truly incredible what humans can do. The Artemis 2 mission crew successfully re-entering Earth's atmosphere and splashed down in the Pacific Ocean off the coast of San Diego, California on Friday evening. Did you catch it? I certainly did. It was very cool to watch. The 4-person crew all made it back safely after a 9-day lunar flyby mission that launched on April 1st. The crew traveled further than any humans from Earth, flying around the moon and then returning in a critical step before a planned landing there in 2027 or 2028. All 4 crew members then traveled to the Johnson Space Center in Houston, where they were officially welcomed back. But what kind of an emotional thing there. I mean, yeah, very, very cool to see. And I mean, I didn't get to see too much of the Artemis, but I did see them land on Friday night, and that was pretty cool. So just a really, really awesome mission they were on. Very cool that all happened. So something for the memory books there. We're going to check that forecast up next on Minnesota 97.5.
Hoyer Construction for your home reno. Well, if you always order in because your kitchen is a sin, call Hoyer Construction. And if you no longer bathe because your bathroom ain't your fave, call Hoyer Construction. If you need an addition, we can make it our mission. Call Hoyer Construction. We can go full throttle on your home remodel. Call Hoyer Construction.
It's Chris Lindahl, and here's your latest real estate market update. After falling slightly last month, the uncertainty index has risen to 7.25 out of 10, which is the highest it's been this year. New listings are up, closed sales are down, and as you've probably seen in the news, Minnesota home prices are actually falling. Bottom line, listing your house on the open market in today's increasingly uncertain environment is risky. For a comparison on listing versus selling with a guaranteed cash offer, go to chrislindahl.com.
Here's to experiencing it all this summer in Wisconsin. Every deliciously cheesy, rockin', magical, fireworks-filled, festival-loving moment. There's Cheese Curd Fest in Ellsworth, Strawberry Fest in Cedarburg, Festival of the Arts in Stevens Point, and the Renaissance Fair in Bristol. Honor the Earth Powwow in Hayward, Mile of Music in Appleton, Venetian Fest, Rock Fest, Summerfest. So many fests for your whole crew. Find them all at travelwisconsin.com.
We heard Wednesday is the worst day of the week, so we made Whopper Wednesday at Burger King. Flame grilled beef, crisp produce on a perfectly toasted bun. Every detail stacked just right, all for only $3.99. Whether it's been weeks or years, get yourself a taste of that unmistakable flame grilled flavor on Whopper Wednesday for just $3.99. Or make it a small combo for only $6.99. Consider Wednesday fixed because you rule. Wednesday's April only. Participating U.S. restaurants. Prices vary. Tax extra. Must ask for offer or apply before checkout. Terms apply. UKDOT.com/terms.
Why go to the doctor? Working on the farm, my heart kept skipping a beat. I didn't think much of it, but my daughters made me get checked out. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit NoTimeToWait.com. Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Accidents are stressful, but fixing your car shouldn't be. At GJ Body Shop in Rochester, we make collision repair simple and stress-free. Our team handles everything: accurate estimates, insurance coordination, and high-quality repairs that restore your vehicle to a like-new finish. As a trusted, family-owned shop, we're committed to honest service, clear communication, and getting you back on the road fast. When life dents your day, GJ Body Shop is here to straighten it out.
GJ Body Shop, precision repair, premium care. Rochester weather.
Brought to you by G&J Auto Body. Tonight, showers and storms likely, mainly before 11. It'll be mostly cloudy otherwise. It'll low down to 55. It could be severe. That's what they're talking. Just kind of a broad range, so they're just trying to nail where it's actually going to hit. Tomorrow, it'll be mostly cloudy, maybe a small chance of some showers in the afternoon. That high in the low 70s. Wednesday, another chance of some showers in the afternoon. Partly sunny, high close to 70. So, the right direction with temperatures. We just got to deal with some off and on rain, it sounds like. And right now in Rochester, still at about 69 degrees.
Minnesota 97.5.
I've heard talk about devotion, love through thick and thin. Life's touched with the emotion, faithful to the bitter
Minnesota 97.5, Rochester's greatest hits.
Listen, boy, I don't wanna see you let a good thing slip away. You know I don't like watching anybody make the same mistakes I made. She's a real nice girl and she's always there for you. But a nice girl wouldn't tell you what you should do. Oh, listen, boy, I'm sure that you think you got it all under control. You don't want somebody telling you the way to stand someone's soul. You're a big boy now and you'll never let her go. That's just the kind of thing she ought to know. Tell her about it. Tell her everything you feel. Give her every reason to accept that you're for real. Tell her about it. Tell her all your crazy dreams. Let her know you need her. Let her know how much she means. Listen, boy, it's not automatically certain guaranteed. To enjoy yourself, you got to provide communication constantly. When you love someone, you're always insecure. And there's only one good way to reassure. Tell her about it. Let her know how much you care. When she can't be with you, tell her you wish you were there. Tell her about it every day before you leave. Pay her some attention, give her something to believe. 'Cause now and then she'll get to worrying, just because you have been spoken for so long. And though you may not have done anything, will that be a consolation when she's gone? Listen, boy, it's good information from a man who's made mistakes. Just a word or two that she gets from you could be the difference that it makes. She's a trusting soul, she's put her trust in you. But a girl like that won't tell you what you should do. Tell her about it, tell her everything you feel. Give her every reason to accept that you're for real. Tell her about it, tell her all your crazy dreams. Let her know you need her, let her know how much you mean. Tell her about it, tell her how you feel right now. Just tell her about it. The girl don't want to wait too long.
Minnesota 97.5, Rochester's greatest hits. I'm Zach Gates. Make sure you download our free Minnesota 97.5 app and take us wherever you go. This is Dion Ferris. I know. Minnesota 97.5.
I know what you're doing, yeah. I know why it's not the number. I know what you're doing, yeah. I know why you care. I know what you're doing, yeah. I know why you say you love me. I know what you're doing, yeah. you're doing, baby. I know why you call my name. I know why you say you love me, but I can't say the same. I've been making lies that I understand. You'll change, I know I know what you're doing, and it's not gonna work this time.
Hey, buddy, how you feeling? I'm feeling.
After Yours with Zach Case. Minnesota 97.5.
This bloody road remains a mystery.
Rochester keeps me in a good mood.
Because who doesn't want to feel good?
Minnesota 97.5.
Do you really want to hurt me? Do you really want to make me cry? Precious kisses, what's happened me? I just never ask you why. In my heart the fire is burning. Choose my color, find a star. Precious people always tell me that's a step I step too far. Do you really want to hurt me? Do you really want to make me cry? Do you really want to hurt me? Do you really want to make me cry? Words of you I have spoken, I could waste 1,000 years. Wrapped in sorrow, words are spoken. Come inside and catch my tears. You've been talking about believe me. If it's true you do not know. This body lost without a reason. I'm prepared to let you go. If it's love you want from me, then take it away. Everything's not what you see. It's over again. Do you really want to hurt me? Do you really want to make me cry? Do you really want to hurt me? Do you really want to make me cry? Do you really want to hurt me? Do you really want to make me
Rochester's greatest hits.
So take these monkey wings. All that she wants is my baby.
My kind of music.
Minnesota 97.5.
Minnesota 97.5, Rochester's greatest hits. I'm Zach Case. Here's Anna Nellick.
2 a.m. and she calls me 'cause I'm still awake. Can you help me unravel my latest mistake? I don't love him. Winter just wasn't my season. Yeah, we walked through the door so accusing. Their eyes like they have any right at all to criticize. Hypocrites, you're all here for the very same reason. 'Cause you can't jump the track. We're like cards on a cable, and life's like an hourglass glued to the table. No one can find the rewind button, girl. So cradle your head in your hands and breathe. Just breathe. Oh, breathe. Just breathe. May he turn 21 on the base of Fort Bliss just today. He sat down through the flask in his fist. Ain't been sober since maybe October of last year. Here in town you can tell he's been down for a while. But my God, it's so beautiful when the boy smiles when I hold him. Maybe I'll just think about it. 'Cause you can't jump the track. We're like cars on a cable, and life's like an hourglass glued to the table. No one can find the rewind button, boys. So cradle your head in your hands and breathe. Just breathe. Oh, breathe. Just breathe. There's a light at each end of this tunnel you shout, 'cause you're just as far in as you'll ever be out. These mistakes you make, you'll just make them again if you only try turning around. 2 a.m. and I'm still awake writing a song. If I get it all down on paper, it's no longer inside of me, threatening the life it belongs to. And I feel like I'm naked in front of the crowd, 'cause these words on my diary screaming out loud. And I know that you'll use them however you want to. But you can't jump the track. We're like cars on a cable, and life's like an hourglass glued to the table. No one can find the rewind button now. It's thinking if you understand. And breathe. Just breathe. Oh, breathe. Just breathe. Oh, breathe. Just breathe.
Minnesota 97.5.
Dance all night, keep the beat.
Minnesota 97.5, Rochester's greatest hits. I'm Zach Case. So do you use emojis in your work emails? If so, maybe you'll want to think twice about that. A new study finds that sending emojis at work aren't doing anything to help your image. In fact, they might be hurting it. Positive emojis like a smiley face are safe, but they don't really add much. And researchers found that they work fine with positive messages, but a plain text still comes across as the most professional. And the one emoji you should never send is the angry face emoji. Sending an angry face can seriously hurt how coworkers see you. Even if your message is totally reasonable, that little angry face can maybe hurt you a little bit. So maybe just take it easy on the emojis when you're doing work emails, at least. That's just what they found out anyways. I don't know if it's really helping you that much.
The Minnesota 97.5 High-Low Jackpot, powered by Carbon One.
Dora, how are you, Dora?
I'm great. How are you?
I am excellent. Where do you listen to us at?
Rochester.
Wonderful. So give me your guess. What do you think is in the high-low jackpot with Carpet One?
Go with 456.
So, Dora, what would you do if I said you won $456? Well, go ahead. Get it going, girl, because you just won $456.
Oh, my God. That's awesome.
Congratulations. Any idea what you might do with some of that?
Oh, I can think of a lot of fun things to do with that.
Good for you. Do something fun for yourself.
I will.
When your brakes start talking, it's time to listen. And Patriot Auto Care and Tire Pros is here to make sure you stop safely. Our brakes service special includes a thorough inspection, dependable repair.
The National Weather Service in the Twin Cities has issued a severe thunderstorm warning for South Central Dakota County in East Central Minnesota, Royce County in South Central Minnesota, Southwestern Goodyear County in Southeastern Minnesota, until 4 p.m. At 3:19 p.m., a severe thunderstorm was located over Faribault, moving northeast at 35 miles per hour. Hazard, 60 miles per hour with gusts and quarter-size hail. This is a radar-indicated threat. Impact, hail damage to vehicles is expected. Expect wind damage to roofs, siding, and trees. This severe thunderstorm will be near Faribault around 3:20 p.m. Western and Northfield around 3:40 p.m. Stanton around 3:50 p.m. Cannon Falls around 3:55 p.m. Other locations impacted by the severe thunderstorm include Faribault Airport, Ruskin, Nearstern Bigwood State Park, and Lake Gillespie. Seek shelter inside a well-built structure and stay away from windows. The storm is capable of producing damaging winds and large hail. A tornado watch remains in effect until 10 p.m. Monday for portions of south central and southeast Minnesota. Repeating, a severe thunderstorm warning has been issued until 4 p.m. for the following county: Goodview, Minnesota.
Camping season is finally here, and Axley Brothers RV is ready to help you get your camper in top shape. Bring it to their shop in Elgin, or they'll come to you at your home or campsite for added convenience. They service campers all season long. Plus, check out their new and used lithium battery-powered carts. Perfect for cruising the campground, hauling gear, or enjoying quality time with the family. Now offering 0% interest for 3 years. Let's make this your best camping season yet. AxleyBrosRV.com.
Minnesota 97.5. Here's what's happening. Brought to you by Axley Brothers RV and Golf Carts and by Patriot Auto. Building lasting relationships, not just one visit.
Bear Creek Services invites you to attend Wines of the World on Saturday, April 25th from 6:30 to 9 p.m. at the Rochester International Event Center. This is your chance to savor the flavors of more than 100 divine wines, enjoy delicious hors d'oeuvres, try your luck in a gift basket raffle, or take part in their charity auction. Proceeds to empower lives and enabling independence for Bear Creek's residents. For more info, visit bearcreekservices.org, and that's what's happening with Minnesota 97.5.
Pappy's Place is a unique restaurant that offers Midwest fare with a flair, serving a tradition of flavor since 1951. The Pappas family is proud to offer everything from onion rings and cheese curds to steaks and shrimp, and of course, the #1 salad bar in Rochester. There's something for everyone, and 7 days a week, there's a special. One surprise you will find is the Endless Shrimp Wednesdays. See all their weekly specials and the menu at pappysplacerochester.com.
It's the sound of generation. Generation Radio, a supergroup of music's most iconic legends, starring two-time Grammy Award winner Gina Marcus of Rascal Flatts, along with longtime lead vocalist of Chicago, Jason Schiff, and more. Live at Ocean Gaming, Black River Falls, Friday, April 17th. Don't miss Generation Radio, Ocean Gaming, Black River Falls, April 17th. Tickets at Ticketmaster.com.
Come for the presentation, stay for the food. Genpachi Japanese Steakhouse's hibachi chefs are the stars of the show. To this day, adults and kids are amazed by the onion volcano, the egg flips, and of course, the food. Bring your family for a different restaurant feel. Watch as your food is prepared right in front of you. Genpachi opens daily at 11. Join them for lunch, late lunch, or dinner. Don't forget the lobster sauce. Check out the menu at genpachihibachi.com. Brought to you by Genpachi Japanese Steakhouse. Tonight, showers and storms likely could be severe too. That's mainly going to be before 11 p.m. Otherwise, mostly cloudy and a low down to about 55, but definitely chances for severe weather. Now, tomorrow, a small chance of showers in the afternoon. Otherwise, mostly cloudy, a high in the low 70s. And Wednesday, another chance of some showers, maybe a storm in the afternoon. Partly sunny, high right around 70. And right now in Rochester, we are at 70 degrees.
favorites.
These are my jam.
All the songs I like.
Rochester's greatest hits. Minnesota 97.5. Afternoons with Zach Case.
All day, every day.
Minnesota 97.5.
Typical.
Minnesota 97.5, Rochester's greatest hits. I'm Zach Case. City Brent Ackerman mentioned this today. Owning a pet is getting very expensive. A new study just came out that says on average we spend about $4,272 a year for one pet. Stretch that over a typical 12-year lifespan, and you're looking at more than $50,000 for one dog or cat, and that's before anything goes wrong. Doesn't help that vet costs have jumped 43% in the last 5 years, and it's gotten so bad that 37% of pet owners are in debt because of their animals. The study says it's hitting Gen Z the hardest. 46% of them are considering a petless lifestyle. And that's too bad. That's really sad. I don't want to hear that because, pets are incredibly important. Having a nice dog or cat or anything, that can be really important to you. So it is too bad that it can be very expensive. That's not guaranteeing that is how much it's going to cost you, so don't let that deter you from, of course, getting a pet. It is very rewarding. If you've never had one, you probably know that it is very rewarding, though, so yes. But nobody's denying that it is very expensive, but we all love our four-legged friends after all.
Distracted driving ruins hopes, dreams, futures, potential, careers, opportunities. Distracted driving could ruin lives. Drive smart.
Extra enforcement now on Minnesota roads. A message from the Minnesota Department of Public Safety.
Contractors count on Hebron Brick Supply for dependable materials, expert support, and the widest selection in the region. Their new Rochester store and showroom offers premium hardscape products, patio materials, retaining wall solutions, plus brick, stone, and steel siding, giving you the flexibility to meet any client's vision. Hebron delivers durability, consistency, and service you can trust, helping you keep projects on schedule and customers satisfied. Visit Hebron Brick Supply in Rochester and partner with a supplier who understands the demands of the professional builders. HebronBrick.com.
We heard Wednesday is the worst day of the week, so we made Whopper Wednesday at Burger King. Flame grilled beef, crisp produce on a perfectly toasted bun. Every detail stacked just right, all for only $3.99. Whether it's been weeks or years, get yourself a taste of that unmistakable flame grilled flavor on Whopper Wednesday for just $3.99. Or make it a small combo for only $6.99. Consider Wednesday fixed because you rule. Wednesdays may roll may participate in U.S. restaurant. Prices vary. Tax extra. Must ask for offer or apply before checkout. Terms apply. UK.com/terms.
Why I go to the doctor? Working on the farm, my heart kept skipping a beat. I didn't think much of it, but my daughters made me get checked out. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit NoTimeToWait.com. Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Good afternoon. It's time for an Ag Update on Minnesota 97.5 and the Linder Farm Network. John Brannick, DTN meteorologist, says after these early week chances of rain, we'll have colder temperatures for the end of the week into the weekend. He says temperatures should be warmer next week. However, again, we will have chances of rain next week.
And, the cold air that comes in this weekend won't last very long. That will be moving out pretty quickly early next week. There's still a pretty good chance of getting some active weather again across the area for next week.
Brannick says the far southern portion of the Corn Belt appears to be having the best conditions for planting this week. Chicago May corn down 0.75 cents, May beans down 13.5, November down 8, June live cattle down 67, May feeder cattle up 47, June lean hogs down 60. That's our Ag Update.
Rochester's greatest hits. Minnesota 97.5.
I love you. It's time to go home now, and I've got an aching head, so I give her the copies. She helps me to bed. Say, my darling, you are wonderful tonight. Oh, my darling, you are wonderful tonight.
Rochester's greatest hits.
Charlie's Scenery and Pub is welcoming the new dueling pianos on Saturday night, May 9th at 7 p.m. If you've been, you know the fun. If you
The National Weather Service in the Twin Cities has issued a severe thunderstorm warning for Fairview County in southeastern Minnesota until 4:30 p.m. At 3:47 p.m., a severe thunderstorm was located 9 miles south of Cannon Falls